everybody. Today we are here with Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Hendrix.
And we are here at where? The Electronics
Recycling Solutions Warehouse, or we call it ERS.
ERS. And guys, y'all are in for a treat today because this is one cool place. And Rebecca, why don't you, Electronics Recycling Solutions. I hear electronics, I hear recycling, I hear solutions.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that we're going to have something to do maybe with electronics, maybe some recycling, and maybe you have solutions for people. So Tell us a little bit about ERS.
All right. Well, if
and
you
know
can
what?
see,
Before we get started,
Yeah.
let's introduce
yeah,
your
this
mascot
is,
here.
This is Lois.
Come here, Lois.
Come here.
Hello.
Come and see Hendrix.
Hello. Lois is a big old girl. Look at this, guys. Lois wanted to join us today.
Yeah, she heard all the action out here. She is our mascot. Hendrix is
Hello,
a big guy, so he can lift her up. I was like, she's a little heavy, but he's got it. So anyway, if you see me walking around and I have a leash, you'll know why. But Lois greets everybody, and she's also a lot of fun for our workers. I'm going to take a second and go put her back with our group, and I'll be right back to you.
Bye, Lois. We'll see ya. All right, so Lois is now hanging out, and we're going to maybe see her some more as we go on our tour.
Absolutely.
But we want to know, before we get to see what you guys do, explain to us what we're going to be looking at.
So ERS is an electronics recycling warehouse. So what you're going to see is the public drop-off station, or the front of the house where
And that
we're
would be
standing.
where people, like, when you say public, you mean anybody can come drop stuff off.
Anybody can come and drop off their electronics. There's a big need for it in all of our communities right now. Most public facilities aren't accepting plastic, for example. They won't take television sets anymore.
no.
And we don't want those things to end up in landfills.
Yeah.
So this is
And a landfill
huge,
is like a big dump. I mean, it's a
It
place
is.
where it's not getting recycled, it's just getting dumped
Right.
onto some land somewhere.
So all those materials that can be poisonous are leaching into the groundwater, and we don't want that to happen. So this is a public service, and we don't have to do it, but we want to do it because there is a need. So where we're standing right now, this is the public drop-off part of the warehouse. And then we're going to take a tour around, and I'm going to show you what happens when we get your electronics.
Yeah.
How do we break them down? And then where do we send all of these parts when we're done?
So why don't you tell me some examples of like electronics? Because there's a lot of electronics out there. Do you guys take just about anything? And why don't you give us a little rundown of some of the most popular items that you guys get?
So we take anything with a cord, and what that means is literally if you have something in your house and it has a cord, we will accept it. We see razors, we've seen crazy lights, we've seen old stereo systems. When you think about it, electronics, it's a huge category.
Yeah.
But we will take anything and everything. Now, as we're walking around, you'll see what we get most of, which are computer towers, desktops, laptops.
Yep.
We get a lot of printers, we get television sets, and then from our business clients, we do what we call business-to-business pickups, and our clients, that's the majority of our business. It's probably about 85 to 90% of our business is business-to-business pickups. That means we go in a truck, and we go out to various businesses, and we pick up their electronics.
Okay.
So when we do that, we're largely picking up computers, switches, servers, routers, things that you'd see in a business office.
Yeah.
And then printers, copiers, that type of thing.
And so you guys provide a great service for these businesses because if it weren't for somebody like ERS, then they might just be tossing them into the waste bin.
Exactly. Or trying to get rid of them with somebody that's not an R2 certified electronics recycler. And we are R2, which means that we are held to a very high standard in terms of what happens to these items after we receive them.
Being responsible with all these different components that you have.
Right.
And that's called R2 certified.
It stands for responsible recycling.
Okay.
And it's just like if you're a school and you're accredited, it is almost the same process.
Oh, wow.
It's an accreditation process to become an R2 certified electronics recycler. It also means that we're responsible under the HIPAA laws, so that when we receive information on hard drives, for example, we have processes in place where we protect that information before it's destroyed.
Okay. Wow, so you guys really do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And you are a very good service because it sounds like you're almost like a one-stop shop
We
for
are.
all this kind of stuff. Both
Absolutely.
getting rid of unwanted, or old or unused items,
Mm-hmm.
but then also not just tossing them, getting them somebody who's going to responsibly recycle them, who's going to take care of your, security and all,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and also provide some jobs to some really cool individuals as well.
Absolutely.
Well, look, somebody that was here gave me a pair of gloves, and if I'm getting gloves, maybe there's some we got some items in here that are sharp or something.
Let's go. Let's go take a tour. I think you will look like one of the workers. You're gonna fit the part, and then that way, if you go reaching into some of those Gaylords, you won't risk cutting your hands.
All right, well, I love it, guys. If y'all are ready, then let's get started and check out ERS.
All right.
All right, so Rebecca, now we're outside, and we're going to get to walk in there and get the full-on tour of ERS. I cannot wait. And tell me, we're going to get to talk to some actual people that are working in there and hear
Yes.
from them some of the more specific areas, because there's a lot. There's a lot to see.
Yes, there is.
All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to follow you.
Come on in, guys. Follow me.
Oh, and then this little spot looks familiar.
Yes. So this is our public drop-off section right here. So if you're a customer and you're bringing in electronics to recycle, you're going to come through our front entrance, and typically you'll walk in and somebody over here is going to greet you. They're going to go, hello, how can we help you? And it's great for people skills.
Yep.
They get to go out, they'll grab a dolly over here, and if the customer needs assistance, they'll take this dolly, go back outside, and load up all of their electronic waste. So
they
it's a
can-
lot of
yeah.
fun. But it's also great for social skills, right? You get used to talking to strangers, helping them, and it's a good social skills builder, essentially.
And this is a nice little dolly you got here.
Thank you.
And notice I got my cool gloves on, so
I
I'm
know.
ready to go.
Yeah, Hendrix is one of us now. So essentially, the reason why I love public drop-off, and I'm going to introduce you to Alex in a minute. Here we go. Is in this area, when we're working with our workers, we teach them about retail. So when they're getting ready to ring up a customer, for example, they're going to type in our passcode, and then this is what comes up on the screen. So everything is done according to what the customer brings in. So for example, if they brought in a printer, they're going to hit printer. Now instead of quantity in terms of do they have one printer, we actually enter pounds, right?
Oh, the weight, yeah.
So if the printer is 12 pounds, that's going to cost you $7.08.
And so, how do you know? I noticed out here on the front here, you've got kind of a menu of sorts of things, and so that's corresponding to what you're inputting into the.
Exactly.
And that iPad there is basically like a register, right? I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
So if you can work here at ERS and you can use this iPad, this is the exact same system that you're using in retail stores, in restaurants.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're building skills that are transferable, right? If
Yeah.
they can work here and they can
great
count
training.
change, they can print out a receipt, you have your credit card swipe.
Oh, wow.
So what that means is that just in this little table area
Yeah.
alone, we're teaching skills that allow all of our workers to go out and work in any retail place in America, basically. It's
Wow.
the same system. So this is really valuable. So not only do they get to work with our customers and build their customer service skills, but they weigh the items when they come in.
And that's what this is.
Yep, that's our scale.
And
you
that's
can see-
a big scale,
Yeah.
because
Well,
you guys probably have lots of stuff that you're putting on there,
We
not just
do.
like one item.
We get huge television sets, for example, so we have to have a large scale. And you can see that they have an item on here now, and it weighs 9 pounds. So the person that is operating the front desk, they'll look over here and they'll see that it's 9 pounds, and then they just click on the button that says what this is,
Yeah.
for example, and then type in the number of pounds. So it's a really great skills builder. Just this little area alone provides them with skills that will allow them to go out and get a job.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to introduce you to Alex and Sean.
Hey, Alex.
Howdy.
How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good. It's great to meet you. Thanks for being on our show today.
I'm happy that y'all are willing to have me here.
This is cool, man. We like ERS. We enjoy seeing it.
So Alex is my line manager,
Okay.
And he started out here last July when we trained our first group of production line employees. Alex started then, and he's worked his way up, and he's now the line manager.
Wow.
So really, he's invaluable to me. He knows every area of and every station in this building, so he can do every job. And when I need some oversight, Alex can take over for me, and he does constantly. He's like my right hand at this point.
That's awesome.
So right now, Alex, why don't you tell our friends at home as well as Hendrix what you guys are doing over here?
So what we're doing here right at the moment is that we're basically going through all this, basically kind of, I guess you could call it crap, but basically we're combing through it and we're trying to categorize each item into a separate category so
Yeah.
we can put the categories together. That way it makes it easier to keep records when we put them on the scale, and then we write down how many there are, a guess of how many there are,
Yeah.
and what they are, and then the weight of what we got.
So where does all this stuff come from? That's on this table here. Is this
All
from
this-
people dropping it off?
This is all from just people walking in and dropping it off.
Wow.
You know, and this is a big part of what we do. We actually also do other public drop-offs, usually on the weekends, that where we actually will rent a truck. We'll go out to a specific location that's close to a specific area where people just from the public can just drive
Come
their
by.
cars in, drop it off, and we take it.
And so you get to interact with the public then when you're
Oh, yeah,
going
yeah.
to those days. And
Yeah.
how is that? Do the people that you interact with, do they appreciate the service that you're providing?
A lot of them seem very happy to be able to have a place where they could take their electronics where it doesn't end up in the dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very important.
Yeah,
Last weekend we did electronic at the Adventure Science Center.
yeah.
We did a
Oh,
big
yeah.
public drop off there
It was
on
our
a Saturday.
Yeah, our first one at that place, but
And did y'all get a good turnout?
we did get a lot, but we did get the word out, and that's
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
that's always the first step when
Yeah.
when we do a new place is getting the word out. And
Takes
hope-
about what, 3 months, 4 months for people
About-
to catch on?
takes a few months
Yeah.
for the word to get out.
Yeah.
But once the word gets out, usually the next time we go, it'll usually start rolling
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting that you have a whole new location, a whole new
Yeah.
drop-off area.
Adventure Science Center was great. They opened their doors to us.
Yeah.
They sent out information in their newsletter, so we really appreciated
Wow.
that. We also do public drop-off for cities. So, for example, the second Saturday of every
Actually,
month we do.
This coming Saturday will
This
be
coming
Henderson.
will be here. It'll be Hendersonville.
nice.
Yeah, we'll be Hendersonville at NGM
Warehouses?
NGM Industries
Awesome.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
So we can do that for any city. So if you don't have an electronics recycling readily available to where you live,
Yeah.
we'll set up a rotation. So for example, the first Saturday of the month, it could be your city.
Yeah.
We'll come out, we'll set up, we'll bring our truck and our crew because we really care about the environment. It's a great opportunity for them, but it's also a wonderful opportunity for us to let the public know about our mission
Yeah.
and that we care about our planet.
And you say a rotation,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to go to the same place every week because people don't have new electronics to turn in every single week.
Right.
So you want to go, a month or two in between, and that way
Right.
people can build up and know what they and look
Right.
forward to it and have stuff kind of stocked
Right.
up ready to give.
Once a month, we feel is probably the best
Yeah.
rotation. People will know, oh, that's right, the second Saturday they're there. So that's a great thing. And then the other positive is that our Gallatin warehouse is always open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people can actually come here, they can drive
4
here
days a week.
and drop off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here, the Gallatin Warehouse, the public drop-off, which is the front desk
Which is
area.
right at this area,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's open Monday through Wednesday, and Saturday to the public from
9 to 3:30 Monday through Wednesday, and then 9 to 1:30 on Saturdays.
Awesome.
and any of those hours, come in, drop off, and we'll take care of it.
And then it'll go right. At first, it'll get weighed,
Yep.
and once it gets into the system, which we looked at over there
Right.
with the register, then now it's on this table. And
Well,
then
let me
it's-
take you to
getting
the
into the
next
process.
spot. Come on, Hendrix, and let me show you what happens.
All right.
So,
Wow. Now hold on. Look at this. Oh my
I
goodness. There's
know.
so much more space back here than I thought.
yes. This is a 10,000 square foot warehouse.
10,000.
Yes, which seems like a lot, but really, right before we ship out, this place is so packed and so crowded, we can hardly walk around. So this is the first part of the month. So it's going to be a little bit slower. We're breaking down, we're focusing on really breaking down materials. Whereas the last part of the month, we're focused on shipping out materials. So it can get really crazy over in the back of the warehouse, but
Wow.
we'll get there in just a minute.
All right.
Over here, you can see what our crew is focusing on breaking down today and tomorrow. They
And
work
are those all computers?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of computers.
for the most part. We're going to focus on just this little area. Most of these are computer towers. Over here, we have kind of a mixed bag. We've got switches, we have routers, and some servers. But for the most part, we're going to have the guys focusing on breaking down towers.
Yeah.
Now, if you turn over to your right, since we're right here, you can see this is our hard drive shredder.
A hard drive shredder. And a
Yes.
hard drive is what you have in a computer that saves all of your information, right?
Correct. So you have a hard drive and you have what's called an SSD.
Okay.
So this is a hard drive.
Okay.
We take the boards off before we shred.
Yep.
So that the circuit board isn't present.
Yep.
And this is an SSD. It's been cracked, so we really can't remove this board, but so we're going to put it through the shredder hole. But this is how we destroy information.
Okay.
So if you say to us, well, we really want to donate our computers to you, but we're concerned we have information on there, we got you taken care of.
Wow. And so this, if anybody's at home is interested in a paper shredder, this is like a paper shredder except for metal hard drives and
Yeah.
plastic and all.
Well, how'd you like me to give you a demonstration?
Oh my gosh,
Our
can we
friends at
see it?
home. Yeah.
Can we see it go?
Yes, absolutely. So let me put this in here. There we go.
Wow.
Turn it on.
Wow.
And this is a hard drive. It's just fed right into this little
Oh, and it
slot.
says hard, and that's HDD stands
Mm-hmm.
for hard drive, and SSD is different.
So I'm going to put it through here. You can see it slide in and then watch that thing crunch away.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's crazy.
Just about done. You'll hear it fall through and then it's finished. Sounds like it's about
And,
done. I'm going to press stop here, turn it up, and then I'll show you.
And just like that, that hard drive is no longer a risk of having any information taken, right?
Right. And you'll see why. This is what it looks like.
Wow. And that's more than one in there, obviously, but that's what it looks like when these get shredded up. And luckily I have my gloves on right, because this would be sharp on my hands otherwise. And these are literally just pieces of hard drive that are getting completely shredded. Wow, that is amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
That is too cool.
So, you know, that's one of the many things that we do, but keep on moving this direction.
All right.
So, all of our workers here have their own pallets with their names above it.
Oh yeah, cool.
That's because everybody's working on specific projects. So if we have a little extra time, there are certain things that my friends here love to break down. We want them to do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to focus on getting materials moved.
Yeah.
So if they can get
They can
this
save
stuff
their-
done, they can save the fun stuff for later.
Wow.
This is our crew here.
Hey, guys.
Everybody is breaking down.
Hi.
Can you say hi, Hendrix? So, this is Joshua,
Hi, Josh.
Anthony,
Hi, Anthony.
Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Say hi, Joseph,
Hi, Joseph.
and John.
Hey, John.
So Joseph is working on breaking down hard drives, taking the circuit boards off them, but everybody else is breaking down towers. So feel free. This is my friend Joshua over here.
Wow, it's very cool. Look at that. And you've got some pretty neat instruments there. Those are some small screwdrivers.
Yeah, that's
They
a
have to be
specific
small to
set.
be able to open that up, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Very, very tiny screws on there. And then most of the guys are breaking down towers. The exception would be Joshua, who is working on an all-in-one. All-in-ones can be really tricky, so Josh is working on that.
So you've really got to, I mean, you guys really have to get, good at this. You have to kind of figure it out and get better every day, right?
Yeah, we really only have. So we really only had like 2 days of training where we actually were like taught to break stuff down. So,
And it's just the practice makes perfect, huh?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, these guys they're rock stars. In July of 2019, we trained our initial crew, and now they're so good that they can train our new employees.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So when new employees come on, Anthony is, for example, our newest employee. Anthony shadowed with Joshua.
Well, I usually take out the parts
Yeah.
and
That's fun. You get to use a drill and everything.
yeah.
We use handheld tools. We were going to use pneumatic tools, but actually, most people don't like working with pneumatic tools, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Handheld tools, they were cheaper, but they were preferred and safer.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a win for everybody then.
Yeah, it is. In other words, you can do this without spending a fortune. You're talking about a good set of screwdrivers and a handheld
Yeah.
drill.
Awesome. Too cool. Wow. Well, I'd love to be able to see some of this, more in depth, but I know we got a lot to see. So.
Right, and one thing that you might look at is as they're removing the parts, they'll walk around this, and I'm going to take you on a tour. But before they do that, they remove the CPUs and the RAM and put those into trays.
And CPU is like the brain, right? Mm-hmm. So this is like the brain of the computer, and each one of those is out of a different computer, right? So that
Right.
just goes to show how many of these are breaking down.
Right.
And then these RAM cards here, this is your kind of how
Those are-
fast the computer moves, how much it can do.
That's desktop RAM there, and then the laptop RAM is in a different tray down here. Right now, they're doing more desktops than they are laptops. So,
Yep.
but this is laptop RAM, and it goes directly in the tray. It protects it, and they don't risk damaging
Yeah.
those items because that's a big part of what provides income for us.
Yeah.
Is keeping those things in great shape, pristine, in other words. So come on over here, and I'll take you on a loop.
On the loop.
Yeah. As the guys finish a tower, they'll put the tower on their chair, and that's why the chairs are on wheels.
Yep.
And then they'll walk the chair around the loop.
Okay. And this is
Every-
our loop here.
Yeah,
Kind of like a
everything
racetrack.
that they need access to is right here on this loop.
Wow.
So if you look in here, for example, you'll see that this is scrap metal. This
Yeah.
is the metal casings. So
And
that's
this
the
is,
first thing.
like the body of the
Mm-hmm.
desktop towers.
This is black plastic.
Black plastic. So any kind of black plastic.
Yeah, and it's kind of a misnomer because anything that's not white is called black. And then if you walk down here, this is mixed aluminum. It just means that there are other metals on here besides aluminum.
Yeah.
So this is mixed aluminum.
Wow.
And then here, you can kind of see one of the things that we do. So when we're, what do you say, refining our processes,
Yep.
I scaffold this information. So in other words, they didn't start off with all these Gaylords. We only
Yeah.
started off with about 6 Gaylords. Really basic information.
Yeah.
But we've become better and better at what we do. So when we're ready to become more refined, for example, in separating our server boards, we'll take a pallet and we'll put high grade, mid grade, and low grade servers on here,
Wow.
server boards on here.
Look at this. I mean, these things are like really interesting looking.
I know. I always think about Tron. I'm a
Yeah,
huge Tron
yeah.
fan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I always see little cities on there.
For sure. I mean, it does. It looks like it's like holding a little
You,
city in my
you
hand.
can see little
almost.
Jeff Bridges driving
Yeah,
around here
that's
if you're
right.
really careful. Yeah, exactly. So
You just got to follow the line behind him, the light line, right?
right, and also they're works of art. Sometimes when you're going through here, you can literally see how beautiful they are.
I mean, they really are. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then when they get their processes down and we get done, we have to go back in and obviously teach and reteach and reteach. When we think they're ready, all of these boxes will then become Gaylords.
Wow.
And then that's how we teach, right?
Yeah.
So these are mid-grade circuit boards. Most of these are coming out of the same types of towers. We had a huge shipment of Lenovo desktop towers. So these are the circuit boards that come out of those. So
Yeah.
these are considered mid-grade boards.
Wow.
Now that's a simplification because they're broken down into further categories. But for our purposes, mid-grade boards is about as far as we need to go.
But that's what you're talking about with kind of refining your processes. At
Right.
the start, maybe you didn't even separate them by any kind of grade, or
No.
even use the circuit boards, and now you guys have gotten better and better, and you're able
Right,
to
right,
narrow down what you're separating.
right. We started off simple and we become refined as we've gone along. So these are low-grade boards,
Yep.
often referred to as E-scrap.
Yeah. Okay. E-scrap. I've seen that word before. Didn't know what it was.
That's it. Or E-shred because
Yeah.
they'll be shredded and it's not worth a lot.
Yeah.
These are wired power supplies simply because the wires are still left on.
Okay. Yeah.
And then these are wireless power supplies. You don't get as many of those.
Wireless. Yeah. Wow. So there's no wires hanging off of those.
Right. Joseph sits back here sometimes and works on hard drives for
Cool.
us.
So everybody, has a kind of a comfort area. They
do.
get comfortable with their
They
their
have
methods.
areas that they prefer to work on. Let me get this out of your way so you don't trip.
Oh, thank you.
Here are the fans that we pull out of those computers.
Wow. Yeah.
You'd be surprised. We fill these boxes up pretty quick with the amount that we do.
Yeah, these boxes are huge. Can you guys at home tell how big these boxes are? I mean, these are not small boxes, and they are completely filled with these things. That is crazy. It's like an electronic ball pit.
Yeah. So these are called Gaylord boxes.
Okay.
And it's a specific type of box because the walls are very, very
I was
thick.
gonna say these are heavy duty. These are
Right.
not like a shoebox.
Right, because I need to stack. So when I'm loading these things onto a truck or when I'm loading up, getting ready for a shipment, I'll double and triple stack them. So they have to be very, very thick walled
Yeah.
so I can stack pallets on top of each other.
Wow,
There you go.
crazy.
Come on down this way. These are green fingerboards.
Green fingerboards.
And they're actually worth more than, say, other fingerboards. That's the other category. Those are red, yellow, and blue fingerboards. So we separate the green out because they're just worth more.
I'll tell you what, this whole circuitry stuff is so interesting.
Isn't
to me.
it?
I mean, just amazing.
It's fascinating. I get a kick out of it. Every day I learn something. I
Yeah.
mean, every day. This is pure aluminum or clean aluminum. Most of these are heat sinks. So you'll see them, and we do a really good job of cleaning those off.
Yeah, wow, those are like beautiful looking.
I know, I always say they're art. To me, they're art. They're just incredibly
Wow.
beautiful. That one back there reminds me of an Art Deco piece. I don't
That
know
one
if you
right
can
there,
see
yeah.
it. Yeah, it looks like Art Deco to me. It's just gorgeous. I keep thinking we can make bookends or something.
You really could though. It looks like a really fancy hood ornament.
Yeah. This is a general e-waste. So this is some of the weird stuff that we get in. Vacuum cleaners,
I was about to say, so
Roombas.
this is a Roomba robotic
Mm-hmm.
vacuum.
We get all sorts of crazy things. Remotes, lights, you name it, we get it.
So if it doesn't fit into like a necessary category,
Right.
you can go in just the general area.
General e-waste, exactly. This is a mixed copper aluminum, and this is just a higher grade. That copper is worth
And again,
more,
beautiful.
isn't it? It's really beautiful to look at. I love copper. It's just gorgeous.
And copper is actually, valuable. I mean, maybe not.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is copper the most valuable that you guys will
For our
use?
purposes,
Of
it
the
is.
kind of stuff that y'all would be getting out of it?
Absolutely, the most valuable. And then these are media drives or disk drives
Oh,
that
cool.
we pull out.
Yeah. Put
And-
your press your button and put the CD in there.
Yep. Kind of going the way of the dinosaur, but we still
Yeah.
do a lot. And then again, metal. So as you can see, Sam, you hear that rolling? Sam's rolling all of her stuff around, and you can see Josh is doing the same thing. So when you hear those chairs rolling, it's because they're rolling all of these pieces and putting all these parts into the correct Gaylord.
Yeah.
So that is a real skill, as you can see, because
Definitely.
they have to determine every single time what goes where. These
Wow.
do not stay the same. We're constantly changing inventory.
So your loop here is crucial to what
Yes.
you guys do.
Absolutely. And we're always growing the loop. So come over this way and I'll show you what I mean. Back here are some of the smaller pieces. So, for example, these are PCI cards,
Yeah.
and these are daughter boards. Lithium ion laptop batteries. Sometimes we'll pull those. This is called ribbon wire. This is worth a lot of money, so we pull it and keep it separate. The ribbon there, you can
Yeah.
feel that.
Wow.
And then here, these are other fingerboards. So the green fingerboards that I showed you,
Oh yeah, the most valuable ones.
they're more
And
valuable
you mentioned
than these
there's
colors.
reds and blacks and blues. Wow.
These are slot processors, and again, they kind of look like big RAM. But
Yeah.
they're slot processors, and they're worth quite a bit of money. Wi-Fi.
So when you
cards.
guys started, did you have all of these?
No, we have
So
laptop
this is part of your
RAM,
refinement process that
gold
you're talking
RAM,
about.
silver RAM. We added this over time. We don't even use these buckets for processor chips or CPUs
Yeah.
anymore. We go straight to trays now. The slot processors and Wi-Fi transmit cards were added. High copper down here. Rambus heat shields. We really don't use this as much anymore because a lot of these Rambus heat shields that these are called
Oh,
Rambus
wow.
heat shields. They come out of gaming units.
Oh, cool.
So they go for quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So we're very careful with those.
Yeah.
And then every last screw, nut, and bolt gets recycled. And when I
Wow.
say every last one, I mean
Look
every
at
one.
those. And there's thousands and thousands and
Right.
thousands, and you guys recycle even the little pieces like that.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
There's nothing that goes to waste. This is where our crew lives. I call it the family room.
Yep.
You would call it your break room.
No, it looks like a home though. You know,
Right.
it looks like a living room, dining room.
Right. What I wanted to do is recreate a home environment so that everybody gets used to hanging out in the living room, having a conversation. When we eat, we sit down at the family table and we have a conversation. We talk with our friends. You don't think it's as big a deal as it is, but what I'm trying to do is build those skills that are going to start here and then go outside. When you go into typical break rooms, everybody's isolated, if you notice. They all sit at very different tables. It's very isolating. They're quiet. When you come into here, they've got no choice but to interact.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't get on their phones and their iPads, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
It's a much more social environment.
Right. So I'm going to bring you back here. You're making your way into what we call the back of the warehouse now.
So we kind of covered our loop over there
Right.
and our tables over there.
Right.
And now
so
we're here in
now
the
we're
back.
kind of coming into the back. So this is where a part of our crew works, not all of our crew. So we have kind of a front of the house team and a back of the house team. So I want to take you into what's really an interesting part of what we do. So this is our testing table. Right now we're focusing on testing all of these monitors. We have to test them before we can ship them out. So we do what's called a light test to see if there are any cracks, if the screen is working, but then we can do an actual testing of the monitors. And then that way we know how to pack them and where to ship them. Because we have to test every single monitor that comes through here.
Wow.
Very time consuming. So it was kind of like the trouble with Tribbles. If you would have come last week, these monitors were clogging up the floor, down this aisle. I was like, enough, focus on the monitors.
Yeah, we gotta focus on that
Yeah,
part.
so now we've kind of got that under control, but if you go down this way, you'll see we've got them stacked here, ready to ship. And then some will go into Gaylords. You can see on the side here, it's light tested monitors. So they're packed. If you look, we have to take two of the same kind of monitor, and in between them we have cardboard.
Yeah.
So we tape them together and then gently put them down into the box, and then we have to record the sizes of each monitor so that when I present this on an Excel spreadsheet to our buyers, we know how many of what size we have. If they're working, if they're light tested, how they were tested,
Yeah.
all of that information has to be provided. So it's very time consuming. That's a full-time job in and of itself,
Yeah.
really. Then you come back here and you can see the various kinds of e-waste. So there's general e-waste. This is just a whole bin full of mice.
A mouse bin.
It's a mouse bin. Only you don't scream and jump on a table when you see that.
That's right.
Although some people would say you do.
So am I correct that general e-waste, that we saw some of that in the front of the house earlier too?
Right. So
Yeah.
what we'll do is a lot of this general e-waste, anything that I need large amounts of before I can ship it out,
Yeah.
they go back here to the racks.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly, a lot of what I do is I'm on the forklift after the guys leave, or I come in early and I'm getting stuff ready to go out, taking it off the racks,
Yeah.
and then putting other stuff up on the racks to make sure our floor stays clear, basically.
So what you're saying about the e-waste is that you gotta, this is a full Gaylord. That is
Right.
full of stuff. But
Right.
that's not enough to get rid of all at once.
Right.
So you want even more than that. And that's
Right.
why up in the front of the house they're collecting even more.
Right.
And so over time you'll get, how many of these would you get before you're ready to ship them
So
out?
to give you an example, because we just shipped out a large quantity, for us to ship out, for example, Gaylords of printers and not be charged shipping and make some money, we need 35,000 pounds.
Wow.
So anywhere
35,000.
between 35,000 to 100,000 pounds of anything. One of these Gaylords will weigh between 600, roughly about 600 pounds.
My goodness.
So 35,000. Think about that.
Yeah, so
So
what-
when I say
boxes
that I'm
and boxes.
stacking things in the back,
Yeah.
I mean I'm stacking.
Stacking.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that we can get enough of something to then ship out and not have to pay shipping fees. Usually we'll make 4 cents a pound on printers. But if I don't stack them up and get 35,000 pounds and I take them to one of our downstream processors, they charge me.
Wow.
So I don't want to be charged.
Yeah.
If I can just consider it a wash and make sure that these don't go to landfills, we're doing a really good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So come on down this way and I will introduce you to Ethan and show you our refurb center.
Cool. And refurb stands for what?
Refurbishing.
And that's like that's a type of recycling, but that's not a recycling where you're going to break down the components. This is where you're going to resell it
Yes.
or make it available so that it's in a good
Right.
it's able to be sold again.
So when we offload a pickup, we'll stack all of the laptops onto a pallet. So this might be from one pickup, this might be from several, but we'll stack them until we get a pretty good pile of laptops. Now, if you look over here, what Ethan is doing is we have to do this with every single laptop. We have to pull up the screen and we run what's called the BIOS screen. It gives us all the information on this computer. It lets us know everything about that computer. It's kind of like its life history.
Wow.
And then we input that information onto an Excel spreadsheet. We have comments, remarks, hard drive type, the RAM type, the CPU type. You can see it's all of their life history.
Yeah.
So that when I'm looking for buyers, and that's where I come in, is that I talk to all of our buyers, develop relationships with them, and then these guys get all that information, and all I do is email them a sheet which tells them exactly what we have. So Ethan is working on bioscreens because each one of these has to go through that process.
So Ethan, how did you learn to do this? Practice?
Well,
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. I wouldn't know how to do that, so I'm impressed.
well, you know, Ethan has a proclivity for all things electronic, I will say. He's just a natural at it.
Yeah.
And then one thing that you'll learn more about as we take our tour is that Ethan's dad, Nathan over here, is our floor manager. Nathan has the not so fun job of breaking down boxes right now
Yeah.
because the boxes multiply. So we even have to recycle all of our boxes,
Yeah.
our cardboard. So we're getting a pallet ready to go out to our friend Lincoln, who recycles all this cardboard for us.
It's a lot of boxes.
Yeah. So if you look here, Ethan has to run the BIOS screens on these, and then he's going to determine, or Eli's going to determine, we have several people that can work back here, if they should be refurbished or not, okay? If they're not going to be refurbished, then we will sell these whole. We very rarely now break down a laptop because we have a pretty good market for people that just want to buy whole
Oh.
units.
Yeah.
We do pull the hard drives out. We don't leave the hard drives in. That's a security measure. But everything else can stay on there, and we'll sell pallets of these whole. But Ethan has to provide them with all that information I showed you on the Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, wow.
So it can be really time consuming just to get through this process. Over here, let's say we determine that these are going to be refurbished. Well, we're going to need hard drives to put in them. We order SSDs, so we'll put in a new SSD into every single computer that we refurbish, as
And
well as
SSDs are more wanted these days. Like
Yeah.
it's easy. You're not gonna. You have a better chance of reselling a refurbished computer
Exactly.
that has SSD.
people who know what they want to buy on eBay. They're always looking for that SSD, and then we'll put in 4 gig of laptop RAM in there as well.
Yeah.
So, and we load Windows on these computers. Windows 10, we're a certified refurbisher. I used to say we're Microsoft certified, but Microsoft just got out of the refurb business. So we put on there what's called a COA, a Certificate of Authenticity not sure if we have any with koas on them in the back, but I'll take you into the cage. Do we have any with koas back there? Yeah, we're just getting ready to put koas on these, but it's something that tells the buyer that we are loading Microsoft 10 Windows onto this, and we are certified to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just another measure that says we know what we're doing. If you come over here, this is our hard drive wiper. We wipe hard drives, which means we take all that information off there. It's preferred, for us anyway, that we wipe hard drives as opposed to shred them, because then we can sell them again or we can use them in other computers. So for us, it's a win if we're able to wipe instead of shred.
Yeah. Wow. So that can do a lot at
30
once.
at a time.
30 at a time. Wow.
And every single one of those then prints out a report. So for example, on here, we ran a batch, and you'll see that a report comes out with this batch.
Yeah.
And it tells you the day it was done, who did it, and then it gives you the information on every single one of these.
Wow.
So that when we sell these,
You have that information.
we provide this information for the buyer.
Wow.
So again, just part of what we do, but we're
Yeah.
always making sure that we can provide data on what it is we do, the day we did it, who did it. That way our buyers are never, hopefully, unhappy with anything that they purchase.
Yeah.
It happens, but we're trying to make sure it happens less and less.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to us, Ethan.
Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.
And back here is the cage, and typically anything with information on here we're going to have in the cage.
And that's like hard drives and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Or anything of value, our RAM, our CPUs, our SSDs, our COAs, everything gets locked in the cage. And then if it has information on it and we haven't wiped it or shredded it yet, it's in the cage.
Wow.
That's just part of being an R2 certified recycler.
Yeah. Being responsible with
Being
what you have.
responsible with the information that we have.
Yeah.
Over here is a joke. This is our, I call it the trouble with tribbles. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know what I'm talking about. So boxes multiply.
Always multiplying, huh?
Always multiplying, yeah. I turn around and it's just, so right now what Nathan is doing, who is our floor manager.
Hey,
is
Nathan.
Nathan has the job that's not so much fun. He's helping me break these down because we need to go recycle them.
Yeah.
We always keep a certain amount of boxes. We know because of the amount of shipping that we do for eBay, the size of boxes that we need. Anything that we don't think we're going to use again, we just make sure to get rid of and
Wow.
recycle. We never ever just throw away boxes.
Yeah.
It's a big no-no. But anyway, this is one of the more unglamorous parts of our job.
Hey, it's part of it though, isn't it?
Yeah. Back here, we've got a row of black plastic. We have several rows of black plastic. And what we're trying to do is either get these set up and stacked against the wall or find a downstream source for them. Right now, plastic is in the tank. Nobody wants it. Nobody's buying it. So if we want to get rid of it and not get charged for it, we have to accumulate
A
it.
lot.
A lot of black plastic. And that's part of my job, is just hunting around and finding people that want to take this and not charge us for it. I don't care about making money.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be charged for it. This is one of those. You can see what we got over the weekend.
Wow.
I think this takes the cake. This is the biggest TV we've ever got. Fortunately, it's on wheels, so I can do my Vanna White.
That's right, yeah.
Or,
what
or
have
if
we
you're
won
really
today?
old, Carol Merrill, who's like my generation. But yeah, here we've got super large outdated TV.
There you go. On wheels, easy
This
to
is what we
roll.
see. And hey, listen, this would have been in a landfill for sure.
And
but
this
we had
thing could be so much better taken care of
Yes.
than just being thrown away.
Exactly. We'll make sure it's recycled. We work with customers. This would have been a fortune to recycle. We always work with customers. So never feel like you can't bring us something for
Yeah.
fear of how much it's going to be. We'd much rather you bring it to us and we'll work with you
Yeah.
on those prices. Back here, this is our dock doors. We have dock 1, dock 2, dock 3. Dock 3 right now, we've got a bunch of stuff against it. We'll move this over because this is our metal disposal door. Our metal roll-off is on the other side of that.
And a roll-off is a big dumpster, right?
It's a great big dumpster. All of our metal goes into that.
Yeah.
We dump at least once, if not twice a day. So
Wow.
that thing gets filled up pretty quickly,
Yeah.
about once a month. Over here, door 2, we try to keep open just for customers that drive up and surprise us.
Yep.
Door 1 is what we use most of the time just because it's closest to our scale. And this is where we bring in all of our business to business stuff. So for example, some of this came from our weekend here with Adventure Science Center.
Yep.
This was a business to business pickup where we picked up a lot of office phones. And then over here was another pickup. So we will do what's called a sort and settle, where we'll weigh these things and then we enter them into a inventory management software. And if you look over here, you'll kind of see what the back of the house looks like. So this is where we do all of our inventory management, entering of data. So as things come in, all the data gets entered over here on this computer system. Right now, I've got Eli working over here. So,
Hey, Eli.
so Eli is one of those wonderful finds where he was being homeschooled, talked to his parents. He has a real interest in this. He was already refurbishing. He was already listing on eBay. And I said, yeah, why not? And he's ended up being just a diamond in the rough. Not even in the rough, just a diamond. So Eli is kind of taking over a lot of our refurb, and what he's doing is he's listing on eBay for us. Right now, he's testing towers and looking at towers where we're trying to determine whether or not we want to list these on eBay. These towers specifically go with specific monitors. In other words, this tower will only work with this monitor and vice versa. So he's testing them as a unit before we can list them on eBay. So eBay is a big part of our income stream.
Yeah.
And so guys like Eli are invaluable to us.
Yeah.
We train everybody on every station. Some people really like it, some people don't. Those that love it, we want to use those. So Alex, who you talked to earlier, and Ethan and Eli, they tend to work the refurb station a lot. But Alex helps me sorting as well because he knows this whole operation. I can kind of focus on what I need to do while we do, for example, sorting. So Eli's just a huge help and obviously really good at what he does.
Nice to meet you, Eli.
You too.
I just can't imagine what he's going to be like when he's 30, you know? Gonna
Doing
be
great things.
doing great things indeed. So this is kind of what the reality is of our business. This was a Gaylord that we picked up from a client, and it comes in a box and it's a big mess,
Yeah.
right? So some lucky person gets to sort through all of this. Unfortunately, that was Alex's job because he's the most experienced. He knows what wires are what. So usually he'll take another team member back here and they'll go through all of this and
Wow.
sort. But that's one of those it's not a glamorous job.
Yeah, but you got to do it.
It is. It's
And if y'all don't do
painstaking.
it, this could end up just out in the wilderness somewhere. Not the wilderness, but in
Right.
the landfill, which
Somebody
is really just the
would
same.
Dump it in the landfill, which
Yeah.
is not good.
It's like a leaf pile of cords.
Yeah. Over here, this is tower and server wire, or it's called a mix number 3. So this is separated because it comes out of towers and servers, laptops, and it's a very high grade wire, and they call it that mix number 3. So
Yeah.
we keep it separate. Here are AC adapters. This, you know what this reminds me of? You know in that Star Wars where they're sinking into that pit of
Yep.
stuff? I think
This is
this
what it
is what it
reminds
would look like, yeah. So again, we sell AC adapters. This is an income stream for us.
Wow,
Yeah.
very cool.
Now, when you're getting ready, when students have come in and we're sorting through them, it kind of looks like this, where we'll do a sort and we'll enter all these items into our software program. It's called IQ Reseller. And then after we enter it in, we come over here and we kind of determine, well, is it a priority or not? If we want to break it down, but it's not a big priority, it'll come over to here. And then if it's really not a big priority, it goes up on the stack.
Yeah.
So right now we've sorted through all this. We want to break this down, so we're going to keep it on the floor, but it's just not a big priority right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of how things go.
So at this point, we've gone through all of the kind of stations per
Yeah.
se with where
Right.
things are and where things go.
Right.
we've gotten to see both the recycling, the breakdown, the refurb,
Yes.
the testing,
Yes.
the online sales,
Yes.
the check-in for public,
Yep.
the dock doors. That's just a lot of stuff you guys got going on.
You know, the only thing that we didn't do, which I'm going to have to invite you along, this is our next thing,
Okay.
is our business to business pickup.
Oh,
so
yeah.
every Friday and sometimes 2 times a week, we are loading up into a truck and we're going out to our various clients and we're picking up. And the warehouse is closed down. That's one of the days that the warehouse is closed because our
Okay.
team is
Yeah,
out,
it's out in the
and we're
community.
picking up. And that is so much fun. It's a great camaraderie builder. It's a very physical part of this
Yeah,
job, right?
moving stuff.
Moving stuff, lifting stuff. It's crazy. You get downtown and you're trying to park in all these nutty alleys and crazy spaces. The police are telling you to get out and move your truck,
Yeah.
and it's nuts. It's a lot of fun, but again, it's a whole other skill. So let's say you're a person, you might be on the autism spectrum, and you think, well, I really want to focus on the computer parts. Great, we've got it. Well, what if you're interested in refurbishing or
Yeah.
working on eBay? We've got that. What if you're a guy that just likes to really lift heavy stuff?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. You can work in the back of the warehouse,
Yep.
or you can come out on our truck crew with us on Fridays. So the thing I love about this business is not only does it teach you retail skills, but there is so many jobs available to so many
Suit everybody.
people that you could come here, and maybe you're not into electronics, but you'll find a spot, right? So
Or maybe you think you're into a certain part of what you guys do, and then you
Right.
find out, wow, not only you're good at something else, and you enjoy doing something else that
Exactly.
you never would have thought if you hadn't gotten in here.
Yeah, a great example of that is Samantha is she has a master's degree in library science. So
Wow.
she you would never ever think technology,
Yeah.
but actually she's probably one of our fastest on the line in terms of breaking down. And I think she also works at Dollar General. A lot of our workers here work 2 jobs,
Yeah.
right? So I think our workers come here because they really enjoy the camaraderie. It's a low stress environment. We're really supportive, but I set the bar high,
Yeah.
you know, because my goal is to get them out of here,
Yeah.
not keep them here,
Yeah.
right? I want them to go out and get higher paying jobs. Or if they really love being here, then I want to move them up the ladder.
Yeah.
And then when they're ready, I'll send out an incredible letter of recommendation. And
So a springboard, whether it's to somewhere else or to within the ranks
right.
here.
Like Alex always knew he wanted to stay here from the get-go. He wanted to move up the ranks here. And he showed me by getting here early, putting
Yeah.
in the hours, always being available. Other people like that it's their second job. You
Yeah.
know, they don't want to be here 7 days a week, but they're okay with 2 to 3 days a week. A lot of my guys are on disability, social
Yeah, can't
security,
work
and they
maybe
can't
as
work
much as other
more
people
than a
might, yeah.
certain number of hours. So we work with them. That's why we have 4-hour shifts. My goal is to get them out of the house as many days as possible. So if I do 4-hour shifts and they can do 12 hours, for example, that means I can get them here 3 days
Yeah.
instead of, you know, one really long day, for example.
Yep.
So I'm always trying to think about what's good for my workers, how can we get them involved in our community here, and keep working on those social skills, keep working on those job skills, and build up a community that they can be a part of.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for showing us around. This is quite the operation you guys have going on. There's so much more to it, and I'm sure that people at home have never known what kind of goes on in something like this. So
Yeah, it's
really interesting.
definitely overwhelming. I remember the first time I saw an operation like this, I saw all those bits and pieces and parts, and I thought, oh my goodness.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like how could you ever memorize all that? And the truth is you don't.
Yeah.
You know, you learn every day a little bit more. And that's the fun of all this. So I appreciate you coming by, Hendrix.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and I enjoyed. So thanks for sharing with me and
Yes.
teaching me, and I hope you guys at home learned as well. And maybe we'll get to go on one of those pickups someday and go check out the craziness that
That's
is business to business.
That's what we're going to do next.
All right, that's what we're gonna do next, guys. I hope y'all have enjoyed and learned a lot. I know I have. Rebecca, thanks again. Really, really awesome.
Anytime.
And hey, thank you all, guys. Appreciate it.
Guys, thanks so much.
All right.